You're watching PM News. In the Western Cape High Court, arguments were presented for the application to drop charges against British murder accused Shrien Dewani. His defence team brought the application under the Criminal Procedures Act. Dewani is accused of arranging a hit on his wife Annie while the couple was on honeymoon in Cape Town 4 years ago. A large media contingent outside the court. Inside, legal counsel for Dewani has told the court that there is no credible evidence to convict his client. Advocate Francois van Zyl argued that the indictment makes no mention of the so-called middleman, Monde Mbolombo, who had conceded that he was involved in the conspiracy, especially on the night of the murder. He said that taxi driver Zola Tongo's evidence was of poor quality and cannot be relied upon. The state is expected to present its case later this afternoon. It is opposing the application to have the charges against Dewani dropped. To bring us up to date with today's court session is SABC reporter Vanessa Puna, who's covering the trial for us. Vanessa, very good afternoon to you. Now, it must have been quite an interesting day at the Dewani murder trial today. We heard Advocate Francois van Zyl arguing that taxi driver Zola Tongo's evidence was of poor quality and cannot be relied upon. Did he say why he's dismissing Tongo's evidence, Vanessa?
Yes, it has indeed been an interesting day at the Western Cape High Court. The defence has put forward heads of arguments of 127 pages. They had submitted this heads of arguments last week, Wednesday, and Advocate Francois van Zyl is now going through those heads of arguments, asking, in essence, the judge, Jeanette Traverso, to dismiss the case against Shrien Dewani. In so many words, he has gone through really with a fine-tooth comb the evidence and testimony by Zola Tongo, the taxi driver, and the only one of the accused so far to have directly implicated Shrien Dewani in this murder plot. Advocate Francois van Zyl has called Zola Tongo, among others, a liar, someone who was twisting the facts to implicate Shrien Dewani in this conspiracy to have his wife killed. He's also described him as somebody who was callous and cold by locking the child, to engaging the child locks on the vehicle in which he was transporting the couple on the night of the murder. So Advocate Francois van Zyl is really going through with a fine-tooth comb the evidence presented by Zola Tongo, which was the star witness of the state, one can call him that. And what he really wants is for the judge to find on the credibility of Zola Tongo that he was not a credible or reliable witness, that he had misleaded the court in many aspects, that he had lied under oath, that his version had changed numerous times from what he gave police in his affidavit to what he testified to in evidence in chief, and then later under cross-examination as well. It's interesting to note at this point that for the purposes of the judge to make a ruling on the 174 application, she won't really have to focus too much on the credibility of the witness, but under the 174 section of the Criminal Procedures Act, what the judge needs to find is that there is no evidence whatsoever against Shrien Dewani. Should, of course, however, she find that even though Zola Tongo's testimony, as unreliable parts of it as they may be, that there is still evidence against Shrien Dewani, this will only come to light later on. It's not, at this point, it doesn't look as though the state will have a chance to begin their argument. The defence counsel, Francois van Zyl, earlier indicated that it could take him up until close of court proceedings today to go through his 127-page heads of argument in this 174 application for the dismissal of the case against Shrien Dewani.
Thank you so much for that. That's SABC reporter Vanessa Puna, live to us outside the Western Cape High Court, and she was filling us in on the proceedings at the Shrien Dewani murder trial.